The fitness industry is full of garbage information. And when I mean garbage information, I mean horrendous information that everyone follows, which inevitably gets every single person 90 plus percent mediocre results, feeling like there's no point in trying because they can't seem to get lean, they can't seem to get abs, they can't seem to just lose a bit of fat, a bit of body fat. And the reason is that what you know about a calorie deficit is just completely wrong. See, what the fitness industry promotes is calories in versus calories out. And what you need to understand about calories in versus calories out, the whole premise is completely wrong. Just because you can essentially drop your weight by eating anything that you want that's in a caloric deficit, theoretically, yes, you will be able to lose weight. Maybe you'll be able to lose a bit of body fat as well, but it's never, ever, ever sustainable. See, sustainability is something that they don't teach. That's the main key component in anything when it comes down to fitness. How sustainable is that in your lifestyle? And this approach is the premise of I can eat whatever I want as long as I'm within my calorie deficit. And the opposite is true for those who go to the gym and they eat in a surplus, thinking they're getting big. I'm getting big. I must be getting big because I just look bigger. No, that's not how it works, because fat doesn't correlate to lean mass. If you've seen fat compared to lean mass, fat looks bigger. So essentially, you're just getting fat. But if we reel this back to actually the deficit, guys. A lot of you guys aren't gonna like this because this is what you've been doing, and this is why you haven't been seeing any results. You can't run from a bad diet. That is the most cliche thing on the planet, but it's so fucking true. And if your diet consists of pizzas, chocolate, confectionery, sweets, whatever it is that's ultra processed, but you fit it in your calorie deficit, then essentially what you're doing is you're spiking your cortisol, because you're going to wake up feeling like shit because you're eating foods that isn't designed to partition the nutrients properly throughout your bloodstream, therefore making you feel a lot more tired, therefore not giving you the ability to optimize good sleep. Your body doesn't perform well when it comes down to actually sleeping, and that's the game. That's where the repair, that's where the reduction in body fat all occurs, guys. So you're spiking your cortisol, your insulin spikes, your ghrelin hormone spikes, and these are all things that is a slight nuance. So nuance just means things that you don't necessarily figure out, but they're there. And it's so important. It's these key little things that you're missing out that makes it impossible for you to lose body fat. Quite literally impossible. And when you see results, you get happy. And then for some reason, months down the line, you're just back where you were. And that's exactly it. It's like this whole merry-go-round of I can eat anything I want, theoretically, if it's in within my calorie deficit. Guys, calories in versus calories out is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit and garbage that they feed people so they can get mediocre results and come back to them. So you can get mediocre results and come back to whoever who's promoting terrible information. You need to optimize for your hormones. So how you optimize for your hormones, guys, is you have a bit more fat in your diet. So you have like fatty acids that fill your craving, your satiating urge to just binge. So instead of having chicken breasts, have chicken thighs. Instead of having rice, have white potatoes. either make it French fries or mashed. French fries usually helps to fill that satiety up, just because it's just more volume, right? And it's these key swaps that makes all the difference. And you have to become, I wouldn't say obsessed, but just a bit more intentional about what you're doing, because before this video, you probably weren't intentional. You probably weren't really paying attention. You was just kind of trying to fit it in your calorie deficit. Maybe you were tracking, maybe you're not. But if it's ultra processed, then it literally goes against the whole premise of fitness. And your sort of, I guess, counter argument to this is that you'll see people on social media and they'll be eating garbage, and then for some reason you think that's going to work for you. But fitness isn't a one size fits all approach, guys. It's specific to the individual. So it's specific to your favorite foods. It's specific to how you want to go about the calorie deficit, in terms of how you want to be partitioning the nutrients in specific days, and how you want to optimize for your expenditure when it comes down to just your energy expenditure. So if we look at your total daily energy expenditure, how does that look like? How are you setting up your day to burn a lot of energy, burn a lot of calories, essentially? And all of these add up, right? And it's not just being in a calorie deficit, being within a calorie deficit, eating whatever you want. See, that's where you've been going wrong. So hopefully that helped. So it's like you'll be like, okay, that's actually the reason why this has been happening to me. Obviously, like the video, guys. Another thing is, the optimal approach for a calorie deficit that you're trying to find, it just doesn't exist, guys. It's like whenever you obsess about the outcome so much, it just eludes you every single time. So be obsessed about the inputs. How can I add these foods, specifically whole foods, into my everyday habits? That I can add a bit of seasoning to, I can create more volume that's going to fill me up. So from a satiety understanding, I can basically be full for less calories, but it's not ultra processed. So I feel better, I perform better, and it has an overall ROI in terms of my performance in every aspect of my life. But if you go around the ultra processed route, trying to fit in ice cream here and there, trying to fit in crisps and all this stuff on a regular basis, an every other day basis, then you're not optimizing for anything. You're actually optimizing for burnout, which you should have already figured out, but you don't know what you don't know, right? So I'll never hold you to that whatsoever. But just don't fall for all this shit that you see, because it's there for a reason, especially when it comes down to people trying to make a quick buck off you. Hopefully this helped. If you guys feel like, obviously, there is something that you want to say in terms of what you've been eating, and I'll get to it in the comments just to see if I can obviously help out. And peace, guys.